Ranches are an American icon, but they're becoming increasingly rare. Since 1950, the United States has lost roughly 2/3 of its farms and ranches. So in a world of cities, technology, and modern convenience, do ranches still have a place? And if they do, what does a ranch actually look like today? To find out, I'm spending a day deep in the Texas countryside at one of the most unique ranches in America. We're going behind the scenes with the wranglers, the owners, and staff to discover what it really takes to keep this way of life alive. First, I met George and Kalli, a husband and wife team who traded city life in Austin for the challenge of running Wildcatter Ranch in rural Texas.
Uh-oh. This is what she wants on camera, George. That face. Oh. It's usually that face is cows have broken through somewhere. We did have them get loose one day and come through the steakhouse, and we had to herd them back through here and down the mountain. That was pretty funny.
Check, radio check.
Hello.
1, 2.
Okay, we're looking at the camera, George. Got it?
I'll try.
Hey, everybody. I'm Kalli Doubleday, and I'm one of the co-owners of Wildcatter Ranch with my handsome husband here.
I'm George Doubleday, part owner and general manager here at the Wildcatter.
We have been together for 20 years.
We know the ins and outs of each other, know how to poke each other's buttons, and so we can definitely rustle each other's feathers, but you know, we've gone through this a long time, and so functions really well together. I've been in different ranch management operations before with family, and so we battle a lot. We're pretty vocal. It makes people uncomfortable sometimes. So I got a civil engineering degree and was practicing civil engineering in Austin for 12 years. And
on the side, he was managing his family's 1,000-acre ranch in South Texas and had been doing that for many years. So raising cattle. And for me, I kind of had a similar dual life. I was a tiger scientist. So I was a doctoral student and then a lecturer at UT Austin and then some other schools.
During our time in Austin, I've been managing my family's ranch in South Texas. My family's been has owned this property since 1903. I stepped up as the ranch manager. We had a hunting operation and managing the property. We would do land management practices like prescribed burning and brush control and running our cattle. And then I got into purchasing some cattle and raising Akaushi beef. So we sell beef to consumers. We wanted to do something, at least for me, I wanted to do something with the beef business and with land and ranching.
I wanted to build a business that I had full control of.
Well, the first weekend really corrected the expectations in reality. We had a 200-person wedding that was booked before we took over ownership, and so all the rooms were full, and the hot water went out for the whole hotel. So that's ties into what a lot of what I do every day is putting out fires. Where's the problems? Last week we had a big leak at the pool that took 5 days to fix. This week we've got a leak at the ranch house estate, and there's always something that's breaking. There's always problems that need to be solved. I enjoy solving problems, but sometimes it stresses me out, and I'm tired of things breaking all the time.
To keep the Wildcatter going, we have about 50 employees. You know, this is a huge job creating property and an important part of our community. Everybody here is connected to each other, and so we have to remind them how important their job is. It's not just about them, it's about everybody on property. You know, in terms of that difficulty of finding the right people, especially in leadership roles in a rural community, like right now we have just an incredible front desk staff. Like everybody who works on the front desk is just fantastic. And they're local gals and guys, and they're just wonderful. But we've had, over the last year and a half, we've had more turnover there than anywhere else because it takes a special certain someone, and it's very scary to let those people go because will you be able to fill it?
With this ranch in particular is that it's not just a ranch. It's a ranch and a steakhouse and a hotel. And so if it was just a 1,500-acre ranch, it would come with its own problems and issues. I think that's what people are yearning for, a place to slow down. One of our taglines when we were formulating this business was to discover your freedom out here. Because that's different for everybody. Freedom might be for one person riding a horse and roping a cow and doing her cowpuncher's activity, very active. That might be somebody's freedom. Somebody else might want to sit in a hammock and listen to the birds. And somebody else might just want to read a book and look at the view. And so everybody has a different idea of what they want to experience when they come out here. But I think everybody shares that common thread. They want to disconnect from technology.
George and Kalli struck me as a couple who were comfortable taking risks. They'd left behind city life for the uncertainty of running a ranch, and from what I'd heard so far, it hadn't always been easy, but they didn't seem the type to dwell on that. If anything, they simply got on with whatever was put in front of them. Next, Kalli was taking me down to the stables where I'd be meeting the wranglers.
The first thing we do when we come in the mornings is we bring the horses up out of the pasture. Horses get kicked out on over 200 acres every night, and that keeps them all healthy and happy and coming in ready to go to work. So when we open these back gates, each one of these horses knows exactly which stall is theirs. Come funnel in, we shut the gates behind them, and then as you can see, we start haltering them up. And before we get the saddles on them, we come through with a brush, just kind of brush them down, make sure there ain't any dirt where that saddle's gonna go.
How many horses do you guys have?
We have 17 total. We're actually trying to add several horses to our herd out here, and it's proven to be very difficult. All right, so when you pick up a horse's hoof, just like so, this is what we call a hoof pick. And then if your horse is ever coming in kind of limping or ouchy looking on his feet, first thing you're gonna do is pick that foot up. You can see that there's nothing in there.
Yeah.
And that thing right there is what we call a frog, and that's like the heel on your tennis shoes. It's like the shock absorber. As far as saddling this guy, we want about 1 inch or so on each side. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw these cinches over this other side. I'm gonna step over here, make sure nothing's all twisted. So see, everything's nice and straight. So we're gonna put our hand on his booty there, come around the side, and then here is where we cinch him up. We always start front cinch, then back cinch. That way if he freaks out and goes running off with the saddle, this is gonna undo quicker than that back cinch will.
Do some of them not like being saddled?
Young horses, when they're not used to a saddle, they might kind of freak out a little bit when you go to cinch them up. With good desensitization training, sorry that's a big word, they get used to packing a saddle pretty quick.
Okay.
When I was younger, I cowboyed on regular ranches before I came out here and worked on this guest ranch. Several of the other wranglers, like this is Abby over here, she used to ride barrels, doing barrel racing. Daniel over here, he used to ride bucking horses and has cowboyed all over Texas as well. So we all have ranching backgrounds.
Yeah, what's barrel racing?
Barrel racing, that's a rodeo event. They put 3 barrels in the arena. The lady will take off on her horse, trying to go through that pattern as quick as she can. And then usually the one with the quickest time would win the night and potentially, win some money or a buckle. People, they come here to Texas looking to meet a cowboy. I just try to represent Texas and the cowboy culture the best I can while they're here. All right, guys, so as you can see, we do need to watch out for those horns. They like to sling them a little bit. They're not necessarily trying to whack you, but y'all see all them flies on their back. And this big boy walking up, that's Blizzard. His horn span is 10 feet from tip to tip, and that's just about as big as they get. But yeah, these longhorns are kind of what put the Cowboys on the map. Back in the old days, they would gather up thousands of these longhorns across South Texas, and they'd drive them up right down the road from here to this lake called Lake Possum Kingdom. So they'd gather up all these cattle up in that bowl, and then as soon as they met their quota, they would take them up out of there and down the Goodnight Loving Cattle Trail. And so that was one of the first cattle trails, and it was found in 1866.
It's very close to that mouth. Is that good? After spending time outdoors with Clint, I was about to head back to the main lodge. There, I was meeting Shannon, who worked the front desk. More than one person had described her as a character. I was curious to see if she'd live up to that reputation. We're coming to hang out with you.
Coming to hang out. Welcome you to work.
So how do you deal with different personalities and different nationalities that come here to check in?
Reading the people. I don't know, it just comes easy for me, really. But
You're a people person.
Yeah, just reading the people.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times I joke around with them, but you can tell when you don't need to be joking around. They say that my boss says, I can't believe you say some things you say and get away with it.
Oh,
so I've only
okay.
got one
Let us
person
know.
lost on the hiking trail. As you can tell, I don't do the hiking trail. I've only hiked to the steakhouse. Told them how to go around the hike. I just pretend like I knew what I was doing on the hiking trails. And I guess they had to call George, called 911 because they got lost.
Shannon won Employee of the Month.
I did. Crammed it in the drawer like this. I could have used the chat GPT. This was my old dating profile. Mine's why I didn't get any dates. Oh, yeah, some lady stuck in a potbelly pig into the room.
Okay,
So
that's crazy.
I usually do use that as when I'm going over the pet thing. Don't be sneaking into a potbelly pig. I believe she had it under her skirt.
After hearing some of Shannon's stories, I was meeting back up with Kalli. I enjoyed talking to her and George earlier in the day. She was warm, intelligent, and refreshingly open about the realities of running the ranch. So when the opportunity came to spend a little more time with her, I was happy to take it.
A lot of history is here. So this point right here, right across, was the Brazos River Indian Reserve. It was really the only Indian reserve in Texas. The people who were displaced to that area did end up on the Trail of Tears going to Oklahoma. But history-wise, this is an incredibly important place in the area. So this was really the edge of the frontier. So this is where the last few resorts, like the Texas Rangers, where the Comanche Indian Wars were happening, was all right here in this area. So this reserve was really important. Also, the people who settled here first were wildcatters. That's what the name's about, is wildcatters. They were out here looking for oil, and they found it, and there's still oil produced on the property.
Yeah, I saw the one rig on the trail ride as well.
Yep. I got a call at like 6:30 in the morning. The fence at the Longhorn pasture is down. Kalli fell asleep at the wheel and went down the mountain and destroyed the fence at the Longhorn pasture. Like destroyed it. Like not a little bit, not one part of it. Like took it out, 7 posts worth. So like an enormous section. Driving as fast as we can to get here, like 6:45, because the Longhorns come up at 9.
Yeah.
That's not like if your animal kill someone on the highway because you let your fences get down, you're liable. So like if someone hits a longhorn, they're gonna die. So like it's very intense to keep all together.
That's definitely an oddball.
It's a chaotic day. Hello. All right, gentlemen, this is Sammy.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey there,
Awesome.
Sammy.
So Charles Goodnight is the one that invented the chuck wagon. Wagons were a thing way before that. He was going to take cattle down a trail, and he needed a way to feed his cowboys. He thought, well, all right, well, we'll put a chuck box in the back of our wagon, and we'll hire a cook, and they can cook with all the hands. This was his kitchen, his laboratory, his everything. I mean, the chuck wagon cook back then, he was the vet, he was the dentist, he was the barber, he was...
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so he was a man of many trades.
Yes. He went up ahead of everybody else, and he would find all the places to camp for the night, and he got everything situated. This wagon is the running gear is a 1891 International Harvester, and my grandpa, Elmer Richardson, out of Bryson, Texas, built the box for the running gear, then the chuck box and the seat. My grandmother was doing this. My great-great-granddad was a chuck wagon cook on the Matador Ranch. I think it was 1896 to 1904. I can show you around the wagon if you want to.
Yeah, can you?
This is just the box. This is what they call the box. And then this is the chuck box right here. The chuck box just slides in to the back. This right here is called a boot, and you can put whatever you need to put in there. Coffee pots, skillets, Dutch ovens. It's got all the stuff. Saw, tooth, pick, axe, and then that under there, it's called a possum belly. And when the chuck wagon cook would be riding down the trail with, 2 horses in the front of it, he would stop along the way and pick up dead wood. But back then, they used a lot of buffalo chips. Because it was, they didn't have chainsaws or anything like that. So whatever they could get their hands on at their convenience was key for them. This is a blocking tackle. So if they had like a steer or something like that died along the way, then they could use this and hang it up in a tree, and they could string that steer up and gut him and have some beef. Or if the wagon got stuck, then they'd use it for that. Put all our poles right here for our fly. Back then, they didn't have a fly. They didn't have anything to keep the sun off of them. and they might have a little bit of something like their wagon sheet. They could string it out, but it would just go from, right here to 3 or 4 foot out.
Does it work if you did connect it to a couple horses? Would it?
Oh yeah, I've
Work
had it hooked up to horses. I went to Florida and cooked in January. We actually pulled this wagon into the rodeo arena with 2 halflingers. This is something that amazes a bunch of people. Okay, put your hand right there.
Oh, so you get fresh coffee
Oh yeah,
all the time.
it's better than Starbucks. So I'll tell you some of the rules. This is what I like to tell everybody. This is your kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And so like right here, if you ever see a white towel tied around this post, that means that there is a woman in camp.
Okay.
When there's a woman in camp, there's no cussing, there's no spitting in front of them, you use your manners. When you get right up here in somebody's cook space, that's the way they did it back then. You have to ask permission before you walk underneath the fly.
Yeah.
And so you have to say, hey, can I come in? And the cook will say, yeah, come on in. Or he may say, no, don't, I'm busy. You never know.
So this is your territory.
Yeah, it's sacred
back
ground.
Here.
It really is. There's no spitting under here. I mean, people that dip snuff, chewing tobacco, whatever, it can still get nasty just like your kitchen at home.
I'd come to Wildcatter Ranch to find out what a ranch looks like in 2026. What I found wasn't quite what I'd expected. It wasn't just horses, longhorns, and open countryside. It was a collection of people, each playing their part in keeping something going that might otherwise have been lost. And by the end of my visit, I could understand why George and Kalli had chosen to swap Austin for Graham.